so much money in scholarships that I honestly didn't need them to give me any money for college. But I didn't have the heart to talk to my parents like that. Not because I was afraid of any repercussions, but I loved my parents too much to ever disrespect them. As soon as I walked into my home, I spotted my little sister, Christian, in the living room doing homework. Christian was 5 years younger than me and had been raised the same way as I had been. I only say that because I know sometimes when parents have a second child, they often alter their parenting styles. But that wasn't the case in this household. We were only allowed to watch TV on Fridays and Saturdays, and whatever we watched, it had to be Jesus-related. We weren't allowed to watch TV through the week because our parents believed that our focus should be on school and whatever obligations that we had at the church. We definitely couldn't watch TV on Sundays because that was the day we devoted all of our time to God. Restriction on watching TV wasn't the only rule we had, though. Long skirts that went past our knees were expected of us, and no makeup. The only thing that we could use was chapstick, and the only electronic devices we had were the desktops in our rooms, and that was only because we needed them for school. I often thought that my upbringing was the #1 reason why I didn't have any friends. The few friends that I had were from church, and even their parents' rules and expectations weren't as high. I wouldn't necessarily say that I wished for different parents, but I would like for them to compromise on a few things. "Oh my God, when did this come in the mail?" I asked, walking into the kitchen and noticing that there was a letter on the table from Spelman University. "Heaven, you do not use the Lord's name in vain. You know better than that." My mother snapped at me as she turned around from standing over the stove making dinner for tonight. My mother was a beautiful woman, although I looked nothing like her. I literally didn't have any features of her. My mother and Christian were both slim, while I was thick with curves and things. Even though my hair was natural, it was naturally curly, while my mother's and Christian's was natural to the point that their hair was so full and thick. I was tall, like my father, while Christian and my mother weren't as tall. I felt that my mother was a great mom, but she loved my sister and I so hard. I believe that she was harder on us than my father. I guess it was because we were girls. In my eyes, my mother had it easy. Her only job in life was to be the first lady of the church, make sure that the house was always nice and clean, cook, be a good mother to us, and an even better wife to my father. "I'm sorry, Mommy. I just wasn't expecting it to come so early," I said, removing my backpack from my back and placing it on the floor. My mother would have had a fit if I placed my backpack on her dining room table. I took a seat at one of the wooden chairs and said a quick prayer before I opened it. My hands were literally shaking, so it took longer than expected for me to get it open. But when I finally did, tears of joy streamed down my face. Not only was I accepted because of my high GPA and test scores, but I also had a full ride. "Mommy, I got in! I got in!" I jumped up and down, showing her the paper. There was a major difference in our expressions right now because she wasn't as excited or as enthusiastic as I was. In fact, she didn't even look like she cared. "That's great, Heaven, baby. But honestly, nothing has changed from when you told me a few months ago that you were applying to this school. It's too far away, and I need to be able to have you within close proximity to me. I'm sorry, baby, but you just can't go," she said, instantly breaking my heart. I mean, I knew from the beginning that she had told me that I couldn't go, but I honestly thought that she would have a change of heart once she realized that I had gotten accepted into Spelman. Everyone doesn't get accepted into Spelman. I knew that my mother only wanted what was best for me, but look at her reasoning for not letting me go to Georgia. It's for her pleasure to have me close to her. The Bible even says that if you train up a child in the way he should go, when he is old, he will not depart from it. For 17 years, my parents had trained me well, so there was no need for her to worry about me forgetting about who I am and where I came from if I were to leave. I knew this was where all of this was coming from. "What's going on in here?" my father asked, coming into the kitchen.